Everyone, I'm back again with a new video. Another commonality here with this video. This is a common thing that'll be on the channel. The top 5 best teams so far in the NFL. You're gonna see this a lot as the season progresses. So let's just get into it, jump right into it here. Of the top 5 best teams right now in the NFL. At number 5, the Green Bay Packers. I say Green Bay because of Aaron Rodgers is back. There was a video on this channel here several eons ago where I talked about Aaron Rodgers and why I think he'll be okay after that debacle in Jacksonville against New Orleans. That was tough, but he was able to rebound, and for them to go on the road and beat a very solid team in San Francisco is a marvelous feat to overcome. They did that. That's why they're at number 5. Number 4, the Bucs. I gave some leeway for the Bucs here because they were playing a great team. We'll get to that team here in a minute, folks. They're playing the Rams on the road, so I was not expecting them to win that game. That was gonna be tough for them. They're still number 4 because they're stacked. They have Tom Brady. Their defense is still very good. They got showed up, but I still think their defense overall as the season, they're a consistent defense. They just had a really bad game there, but I think they continue to succeed, and I still believe they'll win the NFC South. They're at number 4. Number 3, the Ravens. Justin Third Leg Tucker. My goodness, what a kick that he had against the Lions. One change that happened, I want to bring this up. The Raiders are out of my top 5, so that's a spoiler alert here. They're out of my top 5. The reason they're out of my top 5, I had the Raiders ahead of the Ravens. I'll get back to the Ravens here in a minute. I had the Raiders ahead of the Ravens, but the Raiders, they did beat the Ravens week 1, but that I came to a realization, I think I even said it in the video, where if the Ravens and Raiders played 10 times, the Raiders would lose 8 of them. And I still think that's true. So I just think the Ravens, it was one of those days where it was that one of those 2 times where the Raiders were able to get a victory. So that's why the Ravens are now ahead of the Raiders, and that's why the Raiders are outside, because I don't think they would beat the Bucs or the Packers. So that's why they're outside of my top 5. But the reason I have the Ravens here is, they have probably the best kicker in football, Justin Tucker. When you have a great kicker, you have a great advantage. And also, too, they have Lamar Jackson, who's been playing pretty well, playing good. And this win, I think, stems beating Kansas City. Kansas City has fallen off mightily. Also, they won't be in the top 5. I think they'll definitely get back into it. I think this is just a little shakeup they're going through, but they'll get back into gear. It's still really early, everyone, but they'll get back into gear. But the Ravens are at 3 because of the win they had against the Chiefs. Probably the best win still of the year. It was an awesome win. They got over that hump. So that's why they're at number 3. Number 2, and they have moved up immensely, it's the Buffalo Bills. These 2 teams that I'm going to mention here probably have the best 2 players right now, their play right now in the league. How they're playing right now, they're probably the top 2 MVP candidates in my opinion right now. The Bills, Josh Allen is an MVP candidate. It's only week 3, but I think he will still be in the conversation once we get to the end of the season. That game he had against Washington, a very solid defense, mind you. He torched them immensely. That was a great game by Josh Allen. They dropped 41 points against this team. Granted, they were at home, but when you can still put up numbers against the defense that's solid like that, that shows the value that Josh Allen brings to that offense. This Bills team, I think, will continue to win. They had that, tough loss week 1. There's been a common theme through all these teams. They've had some tough losses. And the Bills have had that, but again, they got over that, just like the Packers, and just like the Ravens, they got over that. And that to me is a sign of a really good team. How do you handle adversity, especially early in the season? Number 1, the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are number 1, and I think that was simple. I think everybody knows that. What can you say? I mean, they are undefeated. They are definitely the best undefeated team. A lot of teams that are undefeated right now, I don't think are the best teams. I think the season will progress and they won't be as good. But this team, I think their record fits them and suits them perfectly. They are a 3-0 team. The Rams look like they are a viable candidate to be a Super Bowl contender. What don't they have? I mean, they have Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp. What a game he had. He just had wonderful game against this Bucks defense, and they played probably the top 5 defense in the Bucks and just destroyed them. That gives me so much confidence in this Rams team. Their defense is wonderful. They have a great defensive line. They have a wonderful secondary. They have everything. This team is the team to beat in the NFC, and in my humble opinion, they're the team to beat in the NFL. They are the most. They don't have a lot of flaws. Every team will have an Achilles heel here and there, but it's very minuscule with this team. They really, they have everything locked down. They have their stuff together overall as a team, and I think it continues. I see this team winning several more games. They will win several more games in this situation, in this season rather. I just think as a collective, you have a quarterback who, in my opinion, is the number 1 candidate for MVP, and Josh Allen's just below him. You have the best player right now, I think, in the league, the most valuable player, Matthew Stafford. Not the best overall. I think, obviously, Mahomes is, but I think Stafford has more of the stature right now. He's playing more like it, an MVP candidate, more than Mahomes and Allen. You have the best defensive player in the whole league, Aaron Donald, on the other side. So there's a lot of best when you consider the Los Angeles Rams. They fit a lot of those categories of the best, where they have the best defensive player, the best offense, and the best quarterback as of right now. But more importantly, the best team.